Welcome to another episode of Just Saying With. And in today's episode, we're just saying with the folks from IPOS International who've got a very interesting challenge that's going on for everyone that wants to, design and create board games. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. And, board gaming. I love board gaming. And it's about the first time that I've heard that, someone from the government is doing a board game challenge. All right. Maybe a little bit about who you are as an organization, IPOS, and what is IPOS? So it's Intellectual Property Office of Singapore. But what does that really mean? What's intellectual property?
So in simple words, intellectual property means creation of the mind. So we call IP in short, but in our daily work, we refer to it as intangible assets because it's more than just your simple patents, copyrights, and trade secrets. So we kind of try and use the word intangible assets more often when we relate to people.
Right. The first time I heard of intellectual property, I thought it's smart homes. No, right? No? Okay. Shows how much I know. But okay, that's very cool. Where does IPOS sit within, the government ecosystem?
IPOS is a statutory board, right. So it sits under the Ministry of Law. Okay. And where we are at, we are IPOS International, which is a wholly owned subsidiary of IPOS, and that's like your enterprise and expertise arm of IPOS.
Right. And so which brings me to this very, very, very interesting question, which is why board gaming? I mean, IPOS, you're part of the Ministry of Law, or sit under that statutory board, and you're not under the Ministry of Board Games. What is the Game On IP Challenge? What is it about?
Right, so Game On IP Challenge is a 3-day design thinking bootcamp where youths aged 13 to 35 come together and create their very own tabletop game in intellectual property. So it's right now an idea that we just conceptualized, and we hope that youths can come up with the live prototypes, and something that would interest the public and themselves, of course.
How do you come about with this, let's make a board game, or let's do, I don't know, how did this whole idea, how was it given birth to?
Yeah, so actually last year, right, during the pandemic, Dilprit, she was doing a virtual sharing with our colleagues in IPOS International, and after that sharing, which was about how her family bonds over different types of board games, the four of us actually across different units came together impromptu and played a bubble tea game together, yes. And then the idea was born. It just struck us. Yeah. Yes. Maybe we can do a tabletop game.
Tabletop games, it's a very fun way to learn. And I think this will be helpful in learning intellectual property, which is IP, and helping youths to increase their knowledge about intellectual property.
Yeah. And if I had to add on, right, actually, for me personally, I learn a lot through board games. For example, I learn about the different places in Singapore through the Monopoly Singapore editions. I improve my English through Scrabble. And I have friends who really learn addition through playing poker cards. So actually, it's a very fun way of learning things. And so we're just thinking, can we then use tabletop games or board games, right, to really create interest and make learning intellectual property be more fun, or, make it more interesting, especially for the youth.
Mm-hmm. So by gamifying IP, we are actually using it as a very effective way to, teach intellectual property, which is actually a very dry subject, and make it really come alive for the youth. Yeah, and the best part is I think all of us love tabletop games, so yes. We love to be part of that, game creation process as well.
What's that youth category that you're looking at?
We'd like to say that it's for the young at heart. However, we're really looking at aged 13 to 35.
So if you are 35, you're still young, still a youth. I wish I knew that when I was 35. But Yeah, I mean that's it's a great age range, 13 to 35, right? What can someone expect from? Okay, when is this going to happen? And
This
what can
is
someone
going to happen during the March holidays, 15th to the 17th of March. So 3 days, and our participants will need to commit for all 3 days, from 9 to 6.
And what can participants expect by participating in this program?
All right, so this in these 3 days, right, the youth can expect to learn many things, such as they can learn how to create a game. They can learn from experts within the game industry who have proven to be successful in creating games and commercializing it. They learn about design thinking process. They learn how to make their prototype, and they can experience pitching to judges who can give them really good suggestion and feedback. At the same time, they get to meet like-minded youth who have the same interests. So it's going to be very exciting for them. And most importantly, I think there'll be food and drinks provided, snacks, prizes to be won. So, don't wait anymore, and you really encourage you to sign up.
Hang on. I think you forgot the most important piece. You get to learn about IP.
Oh,
But
Yes.
fun and
In a very
cool
fun way,
environment.
yeah.
And when are applications open until?
So they're open till the mid of February, 15th February. So spots are limited. So we really encourage everyone to take action right away.
Well, when I was growing up, playing board games was deemed as something extremely frivolous, right? You're wasting your time playing board games. But as you mentioned, there's so many things that you can learn from board gaming. Imagination, and, well, life skills, even negotiation skills, tactics, strategy. I'm a big supporter of playing board games. And, well, Just Saying is also very proud to be a media partner for the Game On IP Challenge. And it's something to do. Learn how to design a board game if you want, or if you will, maybe even get it published. Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe even get it published. But if not, hey, it's just something to do during those 3 days, a new skill. And thank you very much, guys, for putting this together. Again, it's encouraging to see that the public sector is actually doing something within board games, which I feel that it's a segment that hasn't been touched enough over the last few years. And when we talk about gamification, we talk about many different tactics. So this is one that's very close to my heart. So thank you very much, and thank you for joining us in today's episode.
Thank you.